It's been a year, guys, and here we are again watching the final episode of a show that captured our imagination and wonder, and that also started the channel off with a bang. Donbrothers, you're in my heart. Now, as we did at the beginning, we are moving straight onto a new Sentai with OHSAMA Sentai King Ohger. Better not let me down. Kezza Henshin. As I said before, it's been a freaking year since the channel started, with my first video ever discussing the plot and characters of Donbrothers in detail. And as it's my 1 year anniversary of the channel, I thought what's best but to return to that first ever video in a way, but do it for our next Sentai. Let's discuss the who, the what, the where, and the why. Wait, I've said this before, haven't I? But yes, today we will be going into detail of King Ohger after the press conference and before the first episode this Saturday. But what about Donbrothers, I hear you say? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten, as in the next video we will be saying goodbye to Donbrothers. I'm not ready to do that just yet, but that final episode was pretty brilliant, wasn't it? Now, let's talk about King Ohger. We are going through the context, the characters, the powers, and more. This season will be a coming-of-age story filled to the brim with themes of royalty and bugs, and telling the tale of a prophecy, one that we already know of, as the Earth Empire Ragnarok rises once again after being defeated 2,000 years before. Who will stand in their way? It's the Sentai team of 5 kings defending the Earth with guardian deities. It's fantasy, it's action, and it looks pretty beautiful. Except for this, what is this? This season is the 47th season, joining the lineup in superhero time with Kamen Rider Geats. Now for the heroes. Tombo Ohger is Yanma Gust, or as I know him as Gentaro, but Sentai. He is the Blue Ranger, donning an awesome earring, blue eyes, and a pompadour hairstyle to match his delinquent attitude. He is played by Aoto Watanabe. Born poor in the slums, he rose to be king, president, or general, whatever he is called, of the kingdom of Nakospa, the land of technology, and fights alongside God Tombo, a dragonfly. Tombo Ohger uses the gun mode when using the king's weapon, and the suit actor is Hirotsugu Mori. He is followed by Shiokara Yuhei Chiwata, who idolizes him and is oddly positive and possibly naive. Next, Kamikiri Ohger is Himeno Run, the Yellow Ranger who dresses to impress. Like, look at her dress, her crown, her jewels, her shoes! But she is selfish and maybe loves beautiful things too much. She is played by Erika Murakami. Though she may seem above it all and self-centered to a fault, she is still willing to fight for her subjects, being a queen of the kingdom of Shabana, the kingdom of medicine and art. She fights alongside God Kamikiri, a praying mantis. Her king's weapon takes on the scythe mode, and the suit actor is Yume Sakaneshi. Though she is a princess, it seems she is not going to shy away from a fight. She is not a damsel in distress and is also a doctor. What more do you want? She is followed by Sebastian. Not that Sebastian, but yes, a butler nonetheless, who is played by Hiroto Yoshimatsu. He is a wise chamberlain who genuinely cares for his queen and knows how to get around her selfish antics. Papillion Ohger, Rita Kanosuka, is the mysterious Purple Ranger, king and chief justice of the kingdom of Gokan, the land of law and order, known for the ice and snow, and is maybe a prison? Either this is a court, or they are all Libras. I mean, same, but with the name Chief Justice, I think it's the former. They are played by Yuzuki Hirakawa. Stoic and soft-spoken with a low voice, Rita hides their face with a collar and possibly is hiding their gender. No one knows if they are supposed to be female or non-binary, but I don't really mind, as I think it's interesting. If they are non-binary or a female hiding as a male king for their country, this detail will lead to some interesting interactions and story beats. And also the fact that they are the first purple ever to be in the main team makes them even more exciting. But purple equals evil, right? Here, not necessarily. Let's see. They fight alongside God Papillion, the butterfly deity. Their king's weapon takes on the bow mode, and their suit actor is Yuichi Hachisuka. Rita, as well as the others, has a personal aide, Morphonia, played by Kasumi Hasegawa, a lazy person who may be mid-hibernating due to being in the land of ice. This kind of makes sense. Our penultimate ranger of the team is Hachi Ohger, Kagaraki Dibosuki, a daimyo, another word for a shogun, for the kingdom of Tofu, the land of agriculture. He is played by Shokaku, shown as a kind daimyo, gentle and fair, but like Geats, is a compulsive liar and is dishonest, not like a usual hero would act. They wear bright coloured clothes and long flashy sleeves with a fan in his belt and wild shoes. They fight alongside Hachi, the bee deity. Their king's weapon takes on the claw mode, and their suit actor is Shogo Teramoto. Their attendant is Koroko. I don't know if they talk at all, but the suit actor is Hajime Kanzaki. And look how cute they are. They are just adorable. Come on, look at their face. And finally, the king of the kings is the final Sentai member, the leader, Kuwagata Ohger, named Gira, a self-proclaimed king of evil? Pardon? Played by Taisei Sakai, Gira is a young orphan from the kingdom of Shogadam, the land of industry and the strongest of the 5 kingdoms. He has a kind heart, with the power of God Kuwagata on his side. He apparently proclaims he will take over the world due to playing the villain so often. And this is similar to Taro with their over-the-top villainous or god persona. Yikes. Similar to Tombo, he's born into poverty, but somehow finds his way into the royal circle. I wonder if he is the lost child of the king, or even stole the power of the king because of his evil persona, or was chosen from the kingdom. We shall see. Their king's weapon takes on the sword mode, and their suit actor is Shigeki Ito. Now for his attendants, the king of Shogadam is Hercules Hasty, played by Masato Yano, who successfully unified the 5 kingdoms, a truly trusted king. He seems like a functional royal and leader who is trusted by everyone, but if I've learnt anything from my years of watching shows like this, the person who seemed to be stable are definitely not. So, I say that there are some dark things happening behind his kind smile, or maybe some sort of weakness. Also, if that says anything, his name is so similar to Hercules, a Roman hero where Hercules is a god, revered for his strength and power, but also lost his strength after being betrayed. I predict that maybe Hercules loses his power or is not as strong as he may suggest, or is even betrayed. Or his name is just based on the Hercules beetle, cause like bug stuff. I have a question though. Why isn't he the red leader of the team instead of Gira? Could it be he can't for some reason? Or that he decided to stay in the kingdom of Shogadam to protect the 5 kingdoms unified? I predict that he can't transform for some reason, which makes it interesting. Moving on, we have the following attendants to the king. Captain of the Royal Guard, Doga, Utaka Marioka, and Boshima, played by Jubun Fukuzawa, the chief advisor. Both of them are like polar opposites. Doga is strict and harsh, whereas Boshimir is calm and wise. Can't wait to see this interaction. They're gonna be like an old married couple, aren't they? I predict they will act like an old married couple. And finally, there is the 6th ranger, who we don't know too much about yet. We have O Kuwagata Ohger, who apparently shares the same motif as our Kuwagata Ohger, but silver. Could this be the actual king's form, as it says O for king at the beginning? Or is it another royal member, as there are only 5 kingdoms, so there can't be another kingdom, right? I predict there may be another kingdom. Or it's another dimension. The world we are in, Chikyu, has been protected by these royals and those who come before them, following and preparing for the prophecy that Bugnarok, this season's villains, will resurrect and destroy humanity. What's with all the destroying humanity prologue? Can't we have something like Donbrothers when we have interesting villains? Sorry, I shouldn't judge. This is a new show. We should try and be mutual. But it's now the year of the prophecy, and the 5 kingdoms have come to form an alliance in preparation against the villains, Earth Empire Bugnarok, a horde of evil insects. Emperor Desnarak, the 8th, I think that's the 8th, the leader of an organization or underground kingdom, seeks power. Of course, to rewrite the balance between humans and Bugnarok, seeking hidden treasures to do just that. He is donned in black and red, described as bloodthirsty, and is the big bad guy. Now, a good show is as good as their villains, so please don't let me down. But it does seem we have gone back to the usual villain tropes. He is voiced by Tomoyuki Shimura, and his voice actor is Richi Seki. And like the team, he also has a right-hand man or attendant, an imperial prime minister and chief researcher, Prime Minister Kami Jim, voiced by Shinichiro Miki. And his suit actor is Masato Sotamune. It seems he is the reason this season that the bugs grow to enormous sizes to fight the Zords. And finally, for the foot soldiers, we have this Sanagim, possibly a colony of ants. Marcus mentioned this one, so I thought I'd add it in. Thank you, Marcos. But if you have noticed, the villains are named Bognarok, which I think is safe to say that it is a mix of bugs and Ragnarok, the Norse mythology tale, which predicts the death of many gods in a great battle. Yes, we've already discussed this. But I have a theory. It foretells the death of many gods, right? Like the shoe gods, perhaps? I predict that the many gods that die in the myth will correspond to the shoe god's demise at the end of the season, which will lead to the world being saved. Now let's quickly chat about the overall show from what we've seen before the end of the video. I love the sets and the different kingdoms. Feels very traditional with the historical costuming and with the stone carvings of the prophecy on the roof, but also multinational, a team made up of different people mixed and matched to form a team. People from different times, feudal and historic and also industrial. It's definitely no Kikanoids nor the Donbrothers suits. It's visually pleasing and beautiful, except some of the CGI of the kingdoms. As well as being wildly different and flashy, the cast is huge! The Sentai team has 5 rangers, but also with each ranger we have an attendant for each king, and this whole group will be interacting between themselves. This opens many more discussions, problems, and perspectives to all situations. Also, we have the main villain with an attendant too. But anyway, the dynamic of the group will be very different. I hope it doesn't get too busy or confusing, but I can't wait for the first episode starting this Saturday. Now for some of the production team, as it's always right to reference and talk about the team, as without them, we don't have a show. So, show your appreciation, guys. First off, for the producers, Takehiro Okawa, Takehito Omori, and Koichi Yada. Script, we have Muzuto Takano, and it will be directed by mainly Kazuya Kamihori-uchi. Action director is Atsushi Watanabe, and special effects will be directed by Hiroshi Batsuda. Finally, onto the music. Main music is by Go Sakabe, and the opening theme is Senryoko King by Takayuki Furukawa. Ooh. Oh, that little bit going down. Oh, beautiful. It's gonna be a good song. I'm excited for it. Though Donbrothers as a group was just a team of dysfunctional misfits, and we will miss them for it, we are now followed up by a group of royals with different kingdoms joined together to fight an oncoming prophecy. Sounds interesting enough. For those who have followed me since the beginning, thank you for supporting me this last year, and here's to many more years to come. And also thank you to the people who joined recently. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Anyway, Kezza Henshin, mata ne. See you next week for the Donbrothers review. Bye! Also, maybe consider subscribing. I don't know. Thank you. It has been a crazy year, hasn't it? I'm just gonna keep on talking until the end of the video. Anyway,